Hi, this is Argonax and we talk about things that don't matter. Half-Life 2 is soon gonna be 20 years old. The game was originally released in 2004, and its anniversary is coming up this November 16th. And I know for a fact that Valve is gonna celebrate somehow. You see, Half-Life 1 had its 25-year celebration a while back. To help commemorate it, Valve added new features and maps to the game, bug fixes, and even a documentary. All of these things was featured in this neat little update page right here. You can see that no expense was spared, making sure that the game was working 25 years later, the aforementioned bug fixes, they made sure that the game can run well on all modern platforms including their Steam Deck, and new content for multiplayer is always fun. The update page also had some pretty neat Easter eggs in of itself.
Oh no, oh my, oh here.
The game saw a huge spike in player numbers when the anniversary came around. So I'm going to be using Half-Life 1's anniversary as a point of reference for what we can expect for Half-Life 2's anniversary. And not to be number racist or anything, but I think 20 is a lot sexier than 25. I'm betting that Half-Life 2's 20-year anniversary is going to be far grander than Half-Life 1's. And with any grand celebration, we can expect some goodies from Valve themselves. We can definitely expect some Half-Life related content is on the way. You see, Valve has been on a roll lately. I called it in my Return of Valve video. Nudge, nudge, wink, 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 go watch it, please. There's been rumors of a new game that's long suspected to be a new Half-Life game in the works. Maybe they might announce something at this celebration, perhaps? And we do know for a fact that, relatively speaking, Valve has been quite busy this decade. They made Half-Life Alyx, they released the Steam Deck, Aperture Desk Job, and they've been hiring a ton of talented developers into Valve. The guys behind Firewatch and Risk of Rain are now working at Valve. And not to mention Deadlock, of course. So join me as I speculate what we can expect from Valve as one of their most iconic games hits its 20-year birthday. And maybe we can shed some light as to what exactly Valve has been working on in all these years. I know a lot of us are very excited about it. Hello and welcome, Internet Wanderer. My name is Argonax. I make video reviews, essays, commentaries, and shorts. I hope you enjoy my content enough to do the YouTube thing, such as liking and subscribing. And special thanks to all the channel members to who I am extremely grateful for their support. Their contributions mean the world to me and it helps keep the channel going. But enough of that, let's get back to the topic at hand. Now, I know for a fact that Valve has been eyeballing Half-Life 2 for some time, since a lot of the Steam Deck updates were made to make Half-Life 2 as playable on the Steam Deck as possible. You see, Valve knew that Half-Life 2 was one of the definitive games on PC, especially back in the day. Half-Life 2 wasn't exactly a game that could be translated well into console, especially back then. So when Valve decided to make their own console, the Steam Deck, they wanted to make sure that they could market it as a mobile computer, and less so just, a bulkier Switch. Because that's what the Steam Deck is, it is just a computer. So Valve put in a lot of effort to make sure that Half-Life 2, one of the definitive PC games of all time, was completely playable on the Steam Deck. So they spent a lot of time working on it. And I know that Half-Life and Half-Life 2 specifically isn't exactly their biggest game or IP. The Half-Life games don't make them the most money, but the game series is basically synonymous with Valve. They owe their entire existence and head start to this franchise. Do I think that Valve is gonna do some grand reveal at the Half-Life 2 anniversary celebration? The official Half-Life 3 trailer, maybe? Steam 2 announced? Ricochet 2? Probably not that drastic, but hey, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. It would be nice if they make a documentary about Half-Life 2's development. They made one for Half-Life 1, and it was amazing. Highly would recommend. I'll link it down in the description below. So if they can make a documentary of the same quality for Half-Life 2, that would just be amazing. And Valve has shown that they've had experiences with documentary making in the past. Just look at the documentaries they've made for Dota, such as Free to Play and the True Sight documentaries. I also think that there's going to be some sort of update to Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. Unfortunately, this multiplayer game never really received a lot of attention, but it has the name Half-Life 2 in it, so maybe Valve might give it some attention, and maybe they might go as far as to give small updates to all of the Source 1 games like Counter-Strike Source and Day of Defeat, I don't know. Personally, I've never really played Half-Life 2's multiplayer modes, so if they have an update for it, I'll be looking forward to playing Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. If it gets an update. One thing I can almost guarantee that they're gonna do is they're gonna be giving the game away for free like they did for the 25-year anniversary celebration for Half-Life 1. So mark your calendars, make sure to get the game, it's amazing. If you haven't played it, you're doing yourself a disservice. And honestly, it would be great if Valve goes the extra mile and officially releases the beta build of the game. I won't go into too much detail about it, but essentially, Half-Life 2 went through many stages of development. There are many points while the game was being made that the game was almost complete and then completely scrapped and they started work all over again. One of these things was Half-Life 2 Beta. It was notable because it had a much darker tone and atmosphere compared to what we eventually got with Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 Beta is actually so well known that many dedicated fans have amassed models and assets and completed levels and released these for people to play. It is one of the biggest cornerstones of the Half-Life 2 fandom. And if Valve can somehow recognize that people have a demand for Half-Life 2 Beta, and they do something in order to celebrate this anniversary, that would be awesome. And even if they can't go that far, we can expect them to release some sort of restored content, or maybe some beta files like they did with Half-Life 1. They released a bunch of unused assets and made them available for everyone to use in the game, so that would be cool. Half-Life 2 is also getting that RTX upgrade by Nvidia. This isn't related to Half-Life 2's 20-year anniversary, but it's nice when things work out like that. Although it doesn't have a release date so far, but it definitely looks good. I'm not sure if my computer can handle it, but that's some pretty stuff. The impact of Half-Life 2 cannot be understated. It was the game that solidified the Source engine as a powerhouse of a game engine. Games like Apex Legends and Titanfall run on the Source engine, and they would not exist if not for Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2's success basically allowed Valve to show everyone that Valve wants their players to tinker with their game and its engine. They want to encourage modding and custom-made content and similar things like that. Not just players, but even companies. It directly influenced things like Gmod and indirectly influenced things like Epic, who are now allowing players to make player-made content to flourish within Fortnite. And it even allowed wilder things like Skibidi Toilet. Yes, I know, I try not to think about it. Skibidi Toilet would literally not exist if Half-Life 2 was not a thing. We can expect some big things this coming November from Valve, and I cannot wait for what they have in store for us. After all, they recently made a huge update to one of Half-Life's sister games, Team Fortress 2. That's right. It's a massive update that just happened recently, and it completely changed the game. Holy shit, they changed Scout's pant color and then they reverted the change soon after. The hidden implications here are amazing. Like literally, think about all the hidden meanings that this could mean. Half-Life 3 is definitely gonna happen here. No, what the fuck?